Hey everybody, it's me. I am back with more Infinite Dragon. Sorry about the weird false start earlier. This game, my computer blue screened, and I think it's because I just straight up haven't been cleaning it. I think the GPU is choked up. We're okay for right now, seems like. But if I crash again, I'm just gonna call it for the day, and then I'm just gonna pull my PC down and then just give it a good clean to make sure to see if that's the problem. Because I looked up the error that I was getting from it, and either the GPU needs some cleaning, or I've got some malware that I need to take care of. I really doubt it's the second, because I'm usually pretty good about it, but you know, anything's possible. But yeah, as the stream name would suggest, today we're not really doing anything that important. We're probably just gonna go through the different bond stuff, and then the current plan is to get all of our bonds squared away. We're almost there. I went through the dungeon like a ton, so right now we've got right now I've got everyone on their secondary classes. I do have Sunhee as a Night Queen right now. I kind of want to get that over with, because I'm going to be real. I think the Dominatrix stuff is kind of weird. It's really not my thing, and I also don't think it's funny. So it's just kind of there as a result. Well, it's a little funny. Some of it's a little funny, but it's like, I feel weird voluntarily dressing up a female character in a Dominatrix outfit, you know what I mean? It makes me question where my life has gone and where I'm headed and who I am. And I'd rather just not have to deal with that. So my current plan is we're going to get through all of the bond stuff, probably just get into some fights along the way that won't matter too much. And then we're going to, once everyone's got their bonds maxed out, I'm going to look into I'm just going to go through all their drink links, which is probably going to take a while. And then we're going to, after that, we'll have all of our best weapons squared away. And then after that, I think we'll be good to go. So then I'll have the ultimate weapons for everyone. Like, we've already got Psycho and Nanba figured out. I just need to get the rest for Zhou and Sunhee. Oh boy. Kurt's here already. We just need to get Zhou and Sunhee. That's I appreciate the enthusiasm. We just need to get Zhou and Sunhee figured out, and then after that, we're going to go through a whole shit ton of talking. It's going to be me staring at a screen while people just talk. That's what we're going to be doing today. And after that, we'll have all of the ultimate weapons figured out, and then I think we'll be ready to finish the game. Back from the ashes of the false start, yeah. We'll see if my computer catches on fire. If so, not much I can do about that. Yeah, it's been really hot recently, which is why I was worried. I was worried it was the heat, I can't change the atmospheric temperature at will, so there's not much I would be able to do about that. Zhou's men get hand-me-downs? Do they all have the same sizes? If I do acquire that power, please do, yeah. I do feel like, I guess one thing I could do, if it was heat, I don't think heat is the problem. I don't think anything's failing. I think it's just like, it's like an error. But if the heat was a problem, I guess one thing I could do is like, I don't know, if you put a towel, the vents for my computer are mainly on the top. So if I put like a towel over part of it and put an ice pack on that, would that make the problem better because the ice pack is cold temperature that's going down through the computer, or would that make it worse because the towel is blocking the vent and trapping the heat in? It'd probably be the former, wouldn't it? I don't know. I believe in putting my laptop on ice. Yeah, that probably helps. The laptop, though, like a laptop, it's all more compressed together, isn't it? So like it's kind of all in one spot. I don't know. Either way, it's probably not the problem I'm dealing with. Ooh, do we get self-care tips? What do you do? Do you masturbate and cry like I do? That usually cleanses the body and soul.
腕を怪我していないか？血が出てるぞ。
本当だ。どこかに引っ掛けたか。まあこの程度放っておいても。
Nah, you need like some
細
Neosporin.
菌が入ったり後になるかもしれない。手当てした方がいいだろう。ちょっと見せてくれ。
大丈夫だ。
Look here, you see
応
it.
急セットは持ってるから自分でやるよ。
What if I
おせっ
don't?
かいなんだな、桐生さん。
かもな。孫妃は周りにはよく気を配るが、自分を後回しにしがちだからな。
We're standing in the middle of an intersection, but I'm sure Kiryu will stop whatever cars come with his body.
あなたがそれを言うのか。ありがとう。
よし。絆が深まったぜ。
That is funny, Kiryu of all people. I trust him. Kiryu of all people saying you shouldn't put yourself at risk at in order to help other people. And it's like, Kiryu, you fought the entire underground multiple times just to help Daigo out. Even when the problem was kind of his fault. You didn't just say, well, maybe you should retire. You're like, no, don't worry. I'll fight the entire Tojo clan again and then fix everything. Maybe even the CIA on the side if they get involved. Alright, I guess we're taking care of these guys. Ah, shit, everyone's drunk. Oh, this is gonna be a problem. It'll work out. Kiryu's too drunk to care. Yeah, so we've got Namba as a host. We've got Kiryu. We got Kiryu in his normal, like a dragon class. Dragon of Dojima, I think that's what the class is called. And then we got Sun. He has a Night Queen, which I want to spend as little time with her as possible. Let's clear out some space. God, I wish this did more damage. They're only level 38, come on. I should be killing these guys in like 2 hits. Oh, you guys want to see what one of the host essence moves looks like? Yep, that's Namba. That's what he's exactly the man I imagine when I think of a heartthrob. Yep. The men love him. Hilarious. Ecstatic point. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm trying not to think too much about what this guy's wearing. It's hurting my brain a bit. This is a normal occurrence in every parking lot. This is exactly what it's like outside of my local Walmart. Oh, this one's pretty cool too. Oh, hell yeah. Not even the frame rate is safe. Man, I really should've. I think I should've stuck with Taekwondo back when I did it. Probably would've. I think I stopped just short of the part where they teach you how to summon monsters and breathe fire. We're taking damage on the bit rate. Yeah. Oh, and Joe's a chef. I forgot to mention that. Ouch. Namba got fucking shot. Good God. Well, let's see if we can take this guy out. Yeah, that one's just a kick. Not sure why it's a Night Queen move. Clear some space out. You. There we go. Punch a man in the kidney 5 times and he dies on the spot. That's what I learned from Like a Dragon. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of healing. Oh, this is my favorite thing about the host, actually, that I learned while I was messing around with him. Listen.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! My favorite part of Hell's Kitchen was when Gordon Ramsay decapitated a man with a saucer plate. Oh shit, his attack got upgraded. Very good. Alright. Alright, Sayako, what are we gonna do about cat cafes?
でもうち飼えないしな。
それなら猫カフェでも行ったらどうだ？たくさんいるぜ。
ですよね。そう思って前に言ったんですけど、猫カフェ新顔の私に常連たちが猫ごとに解説を始めて、初めのうちはありがたく聞いてたんですが、だんだんと
鬱陶しくなったと。
まあそこまでは言いませんが、猫より人と話す方が長かったな。
Damn, that sucks.
先輩風か。
You just walk in, you're like, I didn't come here to hang out with humans.
悪気はないんだろうがな。
だから余計に何も言えなくて、あ、完全に座席を分けてテーブルごとに猫をめでるカフェみたいなのはどうでしょう。時間内は猫とだけ触れ合える。
それキャバクラじゃねえか。
That's kind of a good idea. Like a fucking cat, like a host style cat experience. That'd be funny. Sounds awful. When the oh, what's the reason for? Is the main reason apartments don't allow cats just because is it because they're worried about the mess, or is it because of like the allergies? Because I know with like dogs can get loud and sometimes messy, especially if they're not, you don't have like good control over them, and especially if you got a puppy. Dude, puppies are hard to keep up with. But like cats just kind of, every cat I've met just kind of hangs around in the house all day and doesn't make a shit ton of noise. So like, I'm not sure what the concern is. I guess cats do wander around sometimes.
呼び込みだったんじゃない？美味しいよ、食べてってみたいな。
ああ、そっちか。品切れだ。
Oh, Nanba. Oh no.
確かに声大きかったし、その線もあるわね。
なあ、あの二人なんて言ってたんだよ、ジョー。
何ジロジロ見てんのよ。ぶん殴るわよ。
え、
ぶっ殺すぞおっさんども。ただのチンピラだと思うよあいつら。
Oh, just normal stuff then.
平和ボケしてたのかな。
そうね。
We got hit with the Chinese equivalent of "This ain't a show, dipshit. I'll sue you." I like how each nationality in this game has its own thugs with its own lines. And I think "I'll sue you" is probably the most accurate one. There's one thing that happens in the United States. Let's do something nasty.
出番が来たな。
Okay, what? I wish I could check the. I wish I could check the weaknesses on enemies before I, like, just in combat. We do know we're about. One thing Persona does that I really appreciate is that you can check your little compendium of monsters. Give us burgers and legal systems of money extraction. The government supports our bickering. It's really expensive, but fucking what isn't in this country? Stampede imminent. Donk, 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 donk. Alright. So our damage is doubled. So if I hit him with this thing, we'll skip that for right now. Oh, Jesus! That guy with the head was guarding. Christ alive. This guy's weak to ice, right? Cold. Sounds good. Bucket. Behold, cast iron. It kills. We did, as a matter of fact, ice him. We killed him, returned him to the streets. They will pave over his body and make a new restaurant in his honor. Alright, someone's got something to say to us at the Gigo Arcade. I think this is an arcade. It looks like an arcade. Zhou on the tools of the trade. He plays Virtua Fighter. I didn't know we had a couple of fucking gamers in the party. Jesus.
そうでもないんだよ。ドリキャスでやり込んでたからコントローラーで慣れちゃってね。アーケードのスティックじゃ全然勝手が違うからボロ負け。アーケードスティックをゲームと一緒に買えばと後悔して。それ以来、武器や道具は常に本番を想定して用意する。
What, does he have a Dreamcast up his ass for any moment?
人生の教訓となるか。わからねえもんだな。よし。
Someone's just like, hey, you want to play a couple rounds of Virtua Fighter? He's like, oh, you've challenged me. Whips out an entire fucking system from, what, the 80s? That's probably the complete wrong year. Hang on. Will opening Firefox kill my stream and computer? Let's see. When did the Dreamcast? It's definitely not the 80s. It had to be after the 80s. 98, okay. Alright, Sonny, Dreamcatch. Who do you have the hots for? Never mind. Who do you... are we talking about fishing?
先日別の店に行ったぞ。クレーンゲームで欲しい景品を見つけてしまった。
Oh, okay.
おお、その景品は取れたのか。
ダメだった。5000円も使ったんだが。
結構粘ったな。それなら店員に調整してもらえば。
ああ、申し出てくれたが断った。負けた気がして悔しいから。
I mean, she only spent $35 on it. I've heard stories about people who, like, when they go hard, they go hard. Like, they will sink however much money it takes to get something at some point.
では今度こそ取れるかもな。あのウサギの。あ、いや、なんでもない。次は確実に仕留める。
気合入ってんな。いい感じだ。
Wants to learn claw machine techniques. You gotta get super swole so that you can tilt the machine a bit. $35 is a lot, but it's an admittable amount. Yeah, it's not an amount you'd be ashamed of, that is true. Sonhee wants to get good at claw machines. She seemed pretty serious, so maybe I'll show her the ropes sometime. I have hit total despair on the claw machines in these games before, because there's always one side quest that's like there's a little kid, and the kid wants an animal, but they fucked up at the claw machine and their parents won't give them any more money, and you need to give them the little fucking cinema roll or whatever the local toy is, and then he'll be like, thank you, maybe this will save my parents' marriage, and then he runs off.
かなり高級な店ですね。麻雀の腕に自信があったら結構稼げると思いますよ。
では時間ができたら腕試ししてみよう。サイコは
Alright, Psycho. Let's talk about gambling.
私結構麻雀強いんですよ。
Props to the voice actress. That was incredibly smug.
いつも生き残ってますし。
I think I'd spend up to $200 on a claw machine for the bit. I will never play a claw machine
振
casually.
り込んだ分だけテキーラの
All in or not at all, I
お
respect
酒
it.
結構強いからめちゃ飲まされましたけど平気でしたね。
それはむしろ弱いんじゃねえのか。よし。絆が深まったぜ。
Bingo. Psycho boat. Hang on. Bingo bongo. Bish bash bosh. Psycho boasted about how she always wins a mahjong when there's a tequila involved. Gyoza theory. We've got a lot to talk about here in Chinatown. That's kind of funny. I did think it was interesting how in Yakuza Like a Dragon they mentioned how like Chinatown's actually the high-end place where all the tourists go to, but it's not where it's not where the Chinese immigrants like actually live, which I thought was an interesting distinction.
餃子が売っているね。いい匂いだ。
食べていくか。
いや、今はいい。それに餃子は自分で包むのが好きでな。
From
い
scratch.
ろいろ考え事
Dang.
をしながら肉種を皮に乗せて包むんだ。そうすると思考が整理されて考えもまとまる。
ほう、なるほどな。
まあ組織や予算など悩みが多いと大量の餃子が出来上がるわけだが。
コミジルが餃子祭りになるときは孫妃が悩んだ後ってわけか。いい感じだ。
Yeah, I can believe that. I got out of the habit. Well, I might still fall back into it at some point, but I got into the habit of baking cookies whenever I'm stressed, which was a really bad idea because that caused me to gain some weight. Could go for some gyoza. Yeah, me too. I've got some. It's not gyoza, but I do have some. I have some mandu in the fridge. I think not the fridge, the freezer. So I've got those. I usually keep like dumplings around as a backup in case I just need food, but I really don't want to cook a whole thing. I'll just like fry up or boil up some dumplings. It's a good backup. Because usually it's like, you know, that's all your food groups right there, right? Like it's wrapped in your carbs, it's got protein, it's got vegetables, it's all there. Not the healthiest, but it's good enough. It beats Hot Pockets, you know. God damn, these guys are blocking the photo. Get the fuck out of here. Cannot argue with the dumpling. I know a guy who... Fuck. In college, I knew a dude who had the most stereotypical... most stereotypical, like, bachelor's, diet. Basically, I remember him eating two things out of what I remember. I remember him eating Hot Pockets a lot. And I also remember him eating, basically he would make a quesadilla, but the meat for it would be hot dogs. And I think I remember I asked him once, what's it like when you go to the bathroom? He went, oh, it's bad. Just total defeat on all fronts. Yeah, the dude was pure sodium. He was in really good shape too, which is the confusing thing. I don't know, he's a funny guy. Don't talk with him much anymore. Swine latong. Yeah, I'm kind of curious if you ever got that figured out. No, I usually just meal prep. I made some chicken noodle stew, not soup. I thinged it with cornstarch.
そうだ
And that's pretty solid. I think I made it once or twice, and I think that's my new go-to.
いやうち中華料理屋じゃんどうしても床滑りやすくなるから
ああまあ妙に滑りやすい床のラーメン屋とか
I'm bad at meal prep, but it's lack of experience. Yeah,
結構
I recommend. I think everyone should learn how to cook at least a little bit. I feel like it really changes your life.
滑ってこけそうになってさ3回転半ジャンプで何とか持ち直したんだけど
What the fuck?
あれ以来絶対に店の床は綺麗にし続けようと誓ったやんこけて料理を無駄にするわけにはいかないからね
なんか想像してた理由とちょっと違ったがまあ結果的に清潔で歩きやすい店になるのはいいことだなそれよりお前の料理両手持ちトリプルアクセルを
Triple axel.
よし
Never waste food. Yeah, that's admirable. Fucking hate wasting food. Pulling off a triple axle on reflex. That's kind of that doesn't make sense. I don't believe that. Nonsense. But yeah, I think everyone should learn how to cook a bit. I think like baking I think is completely optional, but cooking is solid cuz I feel like when people don't cook much, they're under the impression that it's always like a whole thing, you know what I mean? People think it's like a whole like process, but once you get used to it, it's pretty quick and kind of meditative like once you're accustomed to it, and it's not like it doesn't feel like you're learning everything new every time you do it. Malakita Park Fountain. There we go. I froze the chili I just ate tonight so I wouldn't go bad. Hell yeah.
ここの花壇はいつ見ても綺麗に咲いているな
そうだな孫妃は好きな花とかあるのか
そうだな私は白爪
This
草が
park
好
always
きなん
ran
だ
like shit.
どこにでもある花だがなたくさんあるがよく見ると一つ一つ違って咲くんだ花屋に並ぶような花ではないが見ていて飽きないそれに
Routine after time, but mornings are always a struggle to make something fresh. Yeah, I always do it at night, actually. I'll cook dinner, and then I'll have dinner be like... I'll make stew or curry. Chili's a good one, too. Or like some, like, chicken in a reduction sauce.
褒め言葉と受け取っておこう
いい感じだよくわかってきた
I make kimchi jjigae sometimes. Kimchi stew. I just make a lot of stew, basically. I feel like that's a good... It's pretty easy. It keeps well. One thing I like about stew is that it's the flavors mingle over time, so when you leave it in the fridge and then heat it up, it usually tastes... It might taste even better than it did like when it was fresh. It's also easier to store just because it's like you can just keep it all in one box instead of like having it as a bunch of separate things.
新鮮ってことか
Stew in super humanity's blood. That's a good way to put it. You know what's a whole process? You know what's annoying is baking bread. Like actual decent bread. Like making a sourdough is an involved process in my opinion. Because it's like you have to knead it and like there's a whole schedule for it that takes place over a few hours and that can get kind of frustrating.
それ褒めてる
よし絆が深まったぜ
Honestly, I really like that Joe can't read Kiryu at all because he always gives off the impression that he kind of knows more than he's letting on, and he's like really observant. But with Kiryu, he's like that's not a joke, right? Sourdough's a whole thing. Regular good bread is still involved, but less so. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Every loaf of bread that you make fresh that requires kneading, basically, there's like a... From what I can tell, I'm still learning, but from what I can tell, there's basically like a whole process where you have to knead the dough and then let it rest for a bit, and then you have to knead it again, and then you let it rest for a bit, and that whole process can take like an hour. and then and that's not including the periods of time where you have to let it rest or like develop the gluten, which can take hours each time. Yeah, letting it rise. Like you have the first rise, and then you like fold it, and then you have the second rise, and then you have to knead it over and over again, and then that's when and then after you let it rest a bit more, then you shape it, and then you bake it, I think is how the general process goes. But it's a lot of working, it's a lot of technique, and it takes a long time generally. Keep it at proofing temperature, or else the inside's gonna be fucked. But yeah, it's kinda, when the temperature's off, you just have to modify the time that you let it rest for, I think, or you let it proof for. I'm still figuring it out. I made a couple loaves that are actually pretty good, and I think I'm gonna keep with it because the bread's really nice. But yeah, it's been a whole learning process. I really hope I want to learn more about it and get good at it. Same thing with fermenting, because I want to be able to make my own good food without having to go buy it, because everything's fucking expensive. So I don't want to. Everything's fucking expensive, and everything's got like a billion ingredients in it that I don't know, and I don't know any good like bakers around here. So I'm just making everything. That's what I settled on. Tortillas are a nice midway, way shorter prep, and just nice. Yeah. Tortillas are nice and easy to work with. I haven't done that yet, but I wanna give that a shot, because if I can get that nailed down, I'll be pretty good. Chungi fishes? I guess that makes sense. He's pretty chill.
いや、ただの釣り堀だよ。あいつ普段は割とおとなしいんだが、釣り堀だと妙に饒舌になってな。糸を垂らして普段しないような話をいろいろする。いつも全然釣れないんだがな。それ以上の収穫があるのさ。
釣り堀は言葉を交わしやすくなる空間なのかもしれねえな。
桐生さんもどうだ？釣り堀で一緒に釣り糸を垂らす。
Oh shit.
言ったらあることないことを話しちまいそうだ。
それが狙いだからな。
いい感じだ。
Jesus.
よく分かってきた。
Well, we've got everyone at 50, so we should be able to go through all the drink links soon. Now, not soon. Sunhee often goes to the fishing pond with Jungi Han. Apparently he gets pretty chatty when he's there. She does want to get him drunk and take him to the lake. Now that I've got you isolated, I'm going to ask you questions. Taking Sunny for a spin? That sounds strange. What's going on over here? Damn, I've nearly cleared them all out. Is this a cool... Oh, fuck, it's a whole thing. Okay, hang on. Oh, we're getting dragged into it. Oh, God. This guy's been doing this since the fucking 90s. This guy's in Yakuza 0. Majima beats the fucking shit out of him.
さあ皆さんわかりますか？これがシレピッピなんです。感謝の気持ちを込めて心に念じてください。
Who fucking dragged their kids here? Good God. No, don't play the sad song. Not for this dipshit. Shurapipi, Heptanas. These sounds are familiar. Didn't those Munon Shoheb Onas guys say stuff like that? The ones who fooled a lot of followers in Hiroshima? God, this is fast. They were running a psychic business to scam folks, so I stepped in to help a man dissolve the very same cult. Oh yeah, this has happened multiple times throughout history. That man was Munon Suzuki, their former guru. His former underlings took over while he was serving for time for fraud, and then... Munon Suzuki, having turned over a new leaf, asked for my help to prevent them from claiming any more victims. And yet... Dude, he relapsed into cult management? That strange old man leading the group over there looks to be none other than Munon Suzuki. He's live streaming it. Did you run out of money? Is the economy not great right now? Like and subscribe! Did you know that 40% of the people that follow this channel aren't true believers in Shurapipi? Please like and subscribe. Maybe he got into streaming to gain new followers? Wait, don't tell me he's trying to revive his cult just so he can make easy money again. I better get to the bottom of this. He might be a VTuber. He's got that vibe. Let's just do this real quick. We'll get back to our regular scheduled bullshit later.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah?
申し訳ないが今撮影中でして。
単刀直入に言う。あんたはあの無難著鈴木なのか。
ああ、ご存知なんですか。いやー、それは。
What, you don't remember me? You don't remember seeing me
その通り。
beat the snot out of 13 dudes?
正真正銘本物の無難著鈴木です。そうだ。よかったらあなたもご一緒にここでシレピッピしていきますか。
どういうことだ。あんたはまた無難著ヘペトナスの教えを広める気か。
Munan Shohept
失
Unans.
礼ですが、あなたはどちら様で？昔無難著ヘペトナスに騙された被害者とか？
いや、そういうわけじゃないんだが。
冷やかしということでしたら申し訳ない。先ほども言った通り、今は撮影中ですので。
ネットに動画を上げて布教しているようだな。あんたはもうそういうのから足を洗ったと聞いたぜ。
思った以上に私をご存知なんですね。ですが誤解です。これは別に布教というわけでは。
Oh, they're just doing
そう
yoga.
なのか。そう言われても本当に誤解か。俺の目には怪しく見える。またインチキ宗教に騙される被害者が出るようなら、このまま素通りはできねえと思ったんだ。
Yeah, back when he started this whole thing, I think it was, he's trying to get young women to sleep with him, and I think now it's just about money.
しかし、本当に私にはもうあなたが思っているような危険性はないのです。
I really need to get this chair replaced.
おい、なんかどうしたの？もっとシュレピッピ教えてよ。
Dude, that was a valuable screenshot we just had. Just the ellipsis over Kiryu staring at a guy.
ほら見てください。彼らは私というネットでちょっと話題の動画配信者を見に来た野じ馬たち。無難著ヘペトナス
Oh, it's just a TikTok trend. Okay.
私のことを面白がって集まっただけで。
Yeah, there you go. Looming ominously.
などと崇めたりもしていない。
だったらなんであんたはこんな動画を撮ってるんだ。
Money.
それはですね。
おー、やってるやってる。
Mean punk.
インチキ宗教の教祖が人気
Oh, thank God.
今度はなんだ。
詐欺で無所にぶち込まれてたんじゃなかったっけ？おいおい、子供たちまで洗脳してんのか？
お前ら無邪気な顔しちゃって。昔こいつが何人被害者の人生ぶち壊したか知ってんの？
いえ、僕らそういうのよくわかんなくて。すみません、もう行きます。
Not my scene.
おい、こいつらは。
こういう
Not my zoo, not my
よく
gorillas.
あることなんです。私の動画撮影はすぐ人目につきますから。かつての私の悪行を知っているんでしょう。彼らにとってこれは正義の制裁なんです。
無難著ヘペトナス教？てめえどの面下げて動画なんて撮ってんだこれ。
No!
お怒り
That
は
shit's
ごもっと
expensive.
もです。ですが、これは私にとっての贖罪なんです。どうか邪魔をしないでいただけますか？二度と世間の皆様にご迷惑はおかけ
I
しません。
can't believe.
ご迷惑かけた
I can't believe I'm kind of feeling bad for this guy. Baffling shit.
みてえな社会の害悪はな。
The Order of Chohept Onas left a lot of victims in their wake with their scam, so if they're active again, maybe there's no escaping these knuckleheads and their harassment.
贖罪したいんだろ？早く消えちまえよ。電車にでも飛び込むか？
すぐ近くに海もあるぜ。せめて魚の餌にでもなって世の中の役に立てよ。
あんた、こん
Is that
な
the
状
best you
況
got?
はよくあることなのか？なのに、なんで人目を引くよう
This
な
is unusual for an influencer. I don't think they usually get the KYS in person.
邪魔すんな。こいつは俺らのおもちゃなんだから。横からしゃしゃってんじゃねえぞ、おい。
私は自分が実践してきたインチキ宗教の手口を動画で解説してるんです。それをネットに上げることで、
And you're doing that by doing the prayer in public. How?
さっきみんなでやっていたシュレピッピの修行は、集団で同じ動きをすることで同調圧力を生みます。そうやって思考力を奪
Holy
い
shit.
シュレピッピをやらせ、その結果をク・リパースというポイントに反映、信者同士を格付けし、フセリンチョすればより多くのク・リパースを積めると説く。フセリンチョとはお布施のことです。つまり教団に多額の寄付金を納めさせる。こういった手口を動画で解説し、
I was not expecting a PSA. This is going in a direction I did not anticipate.
実際私の動画を見たおかげで詐欺を見抜けたと
Holy
視聴者
shit.
にコメントをもらうことだってあります。
嘘ついてんじゃねえぞ、こら。前科者が昔の犯罪自慢して動画の再生数稼いでんだろうが。そんな真似が許されると思ってんのか？
This is a
動
lot,
画の
yeah.
収益なんてほとんど出てませんし、出ても全て被害者の会に寄付しています。私の食材に終わりはありません。
なるほど。そういうことだ。
Dude, that's nuts. Usually it's not the cult leader that deprograms himself.
バカなのかよ、おっさん。こいつは詐欺師なんだぞ。口から出まかせだ。
Usually the guy in charge is like a full-on grade A, like,
徹底的に潰して
top to bottom asshole.
締めにすんのが正義なんだよ。
The catch. Ooh, buddy.
俺はこの無難聴鈴木の言葉を信じる。簡単に騙される。
This is about redemption and atonement. As an old guy who's about to die, that's sacred.
さっき蹴飛ばした三脚をこの人に返して詫びろ。
The phone too, please. The tripod's less important if you ask me.
まずはそれが最低限のマナーだ。
さすがインチキ宗教の開祖だな。あっという間にバカを一人洗脳しやがった。理解不能だぜ。気持ち悪いんだよ、このゴミクズどもが。
Alright, fighting Kiryu near an open waterway, that's dangerous. Alright. I love beast mode in fucking with Kiryu's Dragon of Dojima class, cause he won't even grab the guy you aim for half the time. He'll just grab the first person he gets his hands on. Which is the one where he... That's on the face. There's one. It's this one. This one's nasty. Oh god. Oh god. He's fucking dead. Fucking 8 trillion sperm cells died on this day. Truly dead. Dead in the only way that matters to a man. Yeah, I wanted to throw him into the water, but they were on the wrong side.
もしかしてあなたは桐生さんではありませんか？広島の尾道でお会いしませんでしたか？一緒に戦ってくれましたよね。
Sorry, I'm the man formerly known as Joryu, the agent formerly known as Taichi Suzuki, the taxicab driver formerly known as Kazuma Kiryu.
そうですか。でもだとしたら不思議です。
何が不思議なんだ。
私が過去の贖罪をしていると言ったら根拠もないのにすぐ信じてくれましたよね。口先だけと疑われても仕方のない状況です。なんせ私は詐欺師として刑に服した前科者ですから。でももしあなたが桐生さんだったら、私の言葉を信じてくれたのも合点がいきます。広島では共に戦い、私の背中を押してくれた桐生さんのおかげで私は今日までブレずにいられた。
You were powerful. You were honorable. You soared where other men would walk. You truly were like a dragon.
悪いな、無難長鈴木さん。やっぱり人違いだ。俺はもう行く。
I'm just a random hyper competent geezer.
ねえ、桐生さん。
You shouldn't put names on me.
やっぱり桐生さんなんでしょ。
This is kind of sad.
こんなところでまたあなたと会えたのはきっと何か天のお導きですよ。あなたの目から今の私
This is the last guy in the entire series I would have expected like an emotional moment with. Oh, Jesus.
もし神様ってのが本当にいるとしたら、犯した罪とまっすぐ向き合う人間を悪いようにはしねえはずだ。
やっぱり桐生さんじゃないですか。
Holy shit.
別れ際にあなたがくれた言葉ですよ。
頑張れよ、無難長鈴木。悪いな。今の俺にはこれが精一杯なんだ。
Alright, hello? Okay, yeah, audio's still good. I like my hand brushed the cord that leads out of my microphone, and that has disconnected it in the past, but we're okay. Anyway, memories of Munan Suzuki. So Munan Suzuki's a streamer now. That was a lot, yeah. I was surprised at first, but I guess that's how he's trying to atone for his past crimes. Seems like people have actually been saved by his videos, too. If there really is a divine being out there, I'm sure he's watching over you. That's fucking something. He's rank S. Yep. Sure. Totally. I'm sure you could use a vacation after all the hard work streaming.
相変わらずここから見える観覧車は綺麗だな。
孫妃は観覧車が好きなのか？
まあな。と言っても乗るのでなく眺めるのが好きなんだ。輝いて回るゴンドラは見ていて飽きない。ああ、メリーゴーランドを見るのも好きだな。
孫妃と遊園地に行ったら回ってばっかりになりそうだな。いや、別に乗りはしないのか。
桐生さんと遊園地。
Where is he going with this?
まあ、たまには回る側になるのもいいかもしれない。
Whoa.
観覧車、メリーゴーランド、コーヒーカップ。
そりゃまた目が回りそうだ。よし。
Jesus, she's going for it. Favorite scenery is anyone there's a Ferris wheel. I'm gonna be honest with you. Ferris wheels do not stand out to me at all, because there's like, I think there's multiple cities that have them as part of their skyline. She's the one with the bingo this time. Ho 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 ho. But yeah, what was it? There's a scene in the Fallout TV show. There's a scene where Lucy, I think her name was, the woman from the vault, she walks out and looks at a pier that has a Ferris wheel on it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool scenery for like that represents the that represents sort of like the apocalypse and like the city and stuff like that. And then she like walks away from there and like explores around. Apparently that view, I think that view of that Ferris wheel is supposed to indicate to you that she's next to Santa Monica, but I didn't pick up on that at all because I didn't know Santa Monica had a Ferris wheel. because there's a lot of cities by coast that have Ferris wheels. I didn't associate it specifically with Santa Monica. But yeah, apparently that Ferris wheel over there, I don't remember which city like Ijincho is based off of, but apparently that's an important part of the skyline when you look at it from the ocean. So that's kind of why it's such a big deal. What a gorgeous view. Looking at them smokestacks. Every time I look at the sea, memories of Okinawa keep flooding back into my mind. Yeah! Playing with the kids, catching fish for dinner, a life of peace and content. If only I could turn back time, even just for a little. And here I am now, sounding like an old man. How many times are we going to hear this? My age is catching up to me. I'll never forget the time I lived in Okinawa, the time where my days were spent playing with the children and catching fresh fish for dinner. That's a fucking... I think that's a Yakuza 3 picture we're looking at right now. The sea may be a painful reminder of what I've lost, but I hold those memories close to my heart. Wishing I could turn back time must be a sign I've gotten old. One thing that sucks about Kiryu is that he lives in like a series that's really heavy on the drama, so he literally just can't have anything. Can Kiryu retire to just raising kids? Nope. It's illegal. Half-eaten bento? Hell yeah. I love edible trash. Oh, good news. By the way, this man is doomed by the narrative, and the narrative must keep going. Could you imagine if you're getting the lowdown? It's like, oh, I want you to be the protagonist of a video game series. All right, cool. What kind of series is it? Oh, it's a beat 'em up, and then you get to be like the guy. You get to be the guy who's doing the beating up, not the guy that gets beaten up. And you're like, yeah, hell yeah, I love it. I'm gonna run around. I'm gonna be super cool. People aren't gonna be able to touch me. I'll be mega strong. I love it. Also, it's very drama heavy. Oh, so that means you're gonna be the victim of every plot twist. Oh, also you're never going to be able to sit still. Like, you're not going to have a good resolution because the series is a long-running series. So they're just going to keep... Every time you have a moment of peace, they're just going to keep bringing more bullshit to your table. Oh. You get one slice of toast before the Tojo clan collapses again. Can I heat action any of these guys? Nope. Very unfortunate. I need to get used to the timing for that. That is way slower than I thought it would be. What are these guys weak to? Ice. This guy is the Poach Roach. He's got a cold. Oh, fun fact. I think I might have mentioned that I was trying some home fermenting or home brewing. I actually managed to make a gallon of hard cider. I don't know how much alcohol is in it. I don't think it's a lot, but it is consumable. I had some and I'm not sick yet, so I think I did an okay job. It tastes all right. It tastes okay. I wouldn't buy it in like a store, but it's definitely drinkable. I'm gonna do a little bit more research before I try again, maybe like a month from now. I need to get more opinions on how the batch I made tastes. Electro pulse. Lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. Okay, I think he's dead on his turn. Joe was silenced. That's lame. Oh, I can't go that way. Very sad. I love the presentation of, like, Dragon's Resurgence being everyone standing still and just kind of watching in awe as Kiryu beats the absolute snot out of a bunch of people. Quantum Flux. Some medicine for the Dom. What cures silence? A throat solvent, that? Yeah, that makes sense. Did he shield dash? I think he did. What's the what's the plan here? Well, it's his willpower isn't high, so I guess we use magic. Hey, buddy. Happy birthday. Damn. Unmoved. Alright, alcohol. That was the DOTs. They usually goes past defense. I whiffed the action prompt, but it's okay. Crushes nuts. There we go. Classic Dom maneuver. Shadow clone jutsu. And we'll pan. We'll pan him to hell. Very nice. Very nice. Funamirai-kan? So it's a maritime museum. That's pretty neat. Boats always make me think of Onomichi, a shipbuilding town that faces the Seto Inland Sea. A quiet, calming place surrounded... This is where Yakuza 6 took place. A quiet, calming place surrounded by the sea and mountains. I can see how Haruka wound up there. It's also the place where I was officially declared dead. Though I'll always think of Kamurocho as my hometown, to think my life would come to an end elsewhere. But I guess it's not all that bad. It's a good place to rest in peace. Onomichi, a calm shipbuilding town surrounded by the sea and mountains. Haruka's place of refuge, Haruto's place of birth, and as for me, my place of death. Despite everything that's happened here, I'll always remember this place as peaceful and, well, quiet. Having awakened his body to level 6, Kiryu's guard has been enhanced to the beast style. After guarding, the power of Kiryu's physical skills on his next turn will greatly increase. This not only lowers damage taken, but also prepares a devastating counterattack. It can be especially effective when used against strong foes. Yeah, I picked up a thing with brawler style where if you perfect guard, he immediately like attacks.
でかい船だな。船でゆっくり旅行ってのも楽しそうだ。
私一度船が出港するときにやるテープ投げしてみたいんだよね。
そういえば見たことあるな。あれは船に乗る方が投げるのか？
そうそう。船出の時の別れの握手を意味するんだって。情緒あるっていうか、ちょっとロマンチックじゃない？
俺あれ投げるの得意だぜ。コツがあるんだよ。
へえ、ちょっと意外。コツって何？
I'm gonna rereal. She said throwing streamers overboard, and I did not think of streamers as in like the pieces of fabric you throw out.
縦にまっすぐ投げる。
I thought about just grabbing your local Twitch streamer and just hucking him overboard like traditionally.
何にでもコツってもんはあるもんだ。
実はなんちゃん船旅が趣味だったり？
いや、一回も行ったことねえ。いつか行きたいと思って練習してたんだが、金がなくてな。紙テープ投げるのが上手いだけの男になっちまったよ。
That's kind of funny.
反応に困るわ。
Hey man, he just wanted to be part of one part of the experience. I don't blame him.
その時にもう一回今の投げ方教えてよ。今のよく聞いてなかったからさ。よろしく、難波先生。
たく仕方ねえな。俺の指導は厳しいぜ。
楽しみが増えちまったな。
Hell yeah. Show is high maintenance. Green Gomi Jewel. I think we're good for right now. Let's go get through all those drink links. It's gonna take a while, I think. Might take up most of our hour, but I feel like if we could finish off at least a couple, that would be nice. We probably don't have to do this with Ichiban, considering that he's just we've just got Adachi left, and I think what is it? Like Chidasei, we can't even do her last bond level thing yet, and Adachi, we're almost there, so we can do it. We just need to get through Adachi's bingo and then just talk to him, and then we can get all this stuff. And all we have to do here is get through all the bond. Dude, I love that people say hi to you when you walk into the bar now. That's actually funny. All right, who do we talk to first? Hard pick. Son, he said hi to us, so we'll just talk to her. What's up?
Yo, Sonhi.
Kiryu-san, あなたも飲みに来たのか。
酒は百薬の長だからな。
変な言い訳はしなくていい。何を飲もうがあなたの勝手だ。口を出す気はない。
助かる。隣いいか。
ああ。あの桐生一馬がふらりと来て隣で飲むなんてな。なんだかおかしな感覚だね。
そんな大層なもんじゃねえ。白髪混じりのただの。
She is older than middle aged, isn't he?
それに引き換え、あんた小見汁に加えて半品リューマンのトップでもある。
Isn't middle aged like is it 50? I thought it was like 40.
相当なプレッシャーだろ。
持ち上げすぎだよ。
Like you hit like 40 and then you go, oh shit. Oh shit, how much time do I have left? And then you try to completely change yourself. That's what a midlife crisis is. And if you're like me, you got ahead of the curve and had a quarter life crisis instead. Decided to pursue some ham-brained scheme of becoming a VTuber while simultaneously going back to school. And then ending up way too busy because you also want to learn how to bake, ferment. You want to learn Korean. You want You want to pick up singing, you want to you want to keep writing, you want to do art, you want to do everything just all at the same time. So you end up just barely doing half of that and constantly stressed. You know, relatable stuff.
器か。あなたは群れるのが性に合わなかっただけでは。
はっきり言うな。
いや、無礼をするつもりはなかった。
Nah, speak your mind. This is Kiryu you're talking to.
バッサリ言われるのは少し新鮮でよかった。さすがは大組織のトップだな。
裏社会なりの掟と秩序が保たれている限り、特にやることはないさ。不心得者が現れた時だけ睨みを聞かせればそれで十分。トップの役割と言ったらそれくらいだ。
Traditionally, it's 40, theoretically. It ought to be 45 to us, but due to a unique manufacturing error, we all get our midlife crises at 25 or younger. This generation's defected. Send them back to the factory. Their brains are bad. It's all that Twitter. You can have a crisis at literally any time. Hey there, you impressionable young man. Are you in undergrad? Are you in college? Are you working your first job and realizing that life's a lot more boring than you thought it would be? Did you just discover VTubers? Did you just find out there's people on the internet and they know how to sing, do art? They know how to sing, do art. They're part of like a massive like multimedia corporation. They're like really good at everything they do. They speak multiple languages, some of them even like 3 or 4. And now they're just, and then some of them are also really good at video games on top of all of that. Now, did you know? Are you ready? Did you know they're all roughly around your age? That's fucking crazy, isn't it? Incredible how these things happen. I'm being kind of doomer about it right now. It's not that bad. I've got things going for me too. It's just that like I remember when I got my first job and it was a really boring job. Like it was I was stuck in it was basically like it was interesting. I will say it was interesting, and it's not like it wasn't important. Like, I did appreciate the opportunity to work there, and I did learn a lot while I was there, but I was handling a lot of documentation, and that was really not where I thought my life was going to go at any point in my life. But that's the job I had available, and it was a bad time to be looking for work, so that's just kind of what I was doing. So I was working in an office all day. I was keeping up with like working out and stuff, but there just wasn't a lot going on in my life outside of that. So and I had just fallen into VTubers because one of my roommates introduced me to it in the last year of undergrad. And he was just like, hey dude, check this out. And I saw some dog girl playing Doom, and she was speaking Japanese and making noises while she's like ripping demons in half, and I was like, that is fucking incredible. So I started looking for ones that were over here on over here as in like the English speaking side of things. And Hololive had a whole generation of them, and I started watching them, and I started getting like absorbed into it. Like I started listening to Ina's art streams at work while I was working, because it was fine. I was getting work done, and I would kind of have her on in the background, and it was actually really relaxing. And then I just kind of like, when I started to see like the depth of what those people were doing and like how much work they did to get there, and I also realized that it's like, because when I was younger, when I was in like middle school, it was always like, oh yeah, people do video editing and streaming, and they do Let's Plays, and like they do all of that media stuff, and I'd love to do that, but that's all like, these guys are all older people, right? They're all like in their 20s, they have their own space, they have their own office, they have their own thing going on. I'll just like, I could probably do that, but I need to be older because I need to know more, and I just kind of like kept putting it off, and I never really started. And then that happened, and I was like, oh fuck, did I just miss my shot? Yeah. I know content creation isn't what it's cracked up to be, but it was really jarring. And that's kind of part of the reason I'm doing this right now. I don't think I have like I don't think right now I have the time or motivation. I'm trying to like make things happen on my own time, but I don't think I have the time or motivation to go as hard on content creation as some of the other people out there trying to make it into a job. But like this is something. I'm doing something, and like I'm happy with where I'm at right now. But at that time when I got introduced to all of that, and like I was at that job and I wasn't sure where my life was headed, yeah, I had a full fucking crisis. I assume that's pretty normal, but yeah, it was a whole thing. You miss 100% of the shots you take and all that, but yeah, there's doing it for yourself and there's doing it full time. Yeah, I honestly don't see a future in me doing it full time. I think it's really shitty. I don't really want to. I'm a guy that really values stability, and content creation full time is like the opposite of stability. You know what I mean? Like, because the thing is that if you make all of your money off of YouTube, or I guess Twitch is a little less volatile, but YouTube will change its algorithm here and there, and they won't tell you about it. They don't make announcements. People just guess based off of observed data. So they could, like, they want to prioritize shorts right now, and you could kind of see that coming because TikTok got really big. So like shorts are the way to go if you want to get really popular really fast, and that's working for a lot of people. But like, if they change it again, they start deprioritizing shorts, and they're like, we're going to go back to long-form content, that's just going to happen in the background. And things like that could happen and completely upturn, like, the entire structure, like, your expectation of what your content creation is going to be, and your entire schedule. And that means you're going to have to make an adjustment to, like, go into a different form of content if you want to keep, like, getting attention, because most people on YouTube don't make accounts and, like, subscribe to people. They just watch whatever without following anyone. And that means you kind of have to like keep catching people's recommended and For You pages and stuff like that, which means you are going to have to adjust with the algorithm. And if your livelihood depends on that, there's a lot of extra pressure. So like, I don't see myself doing it full time. And the expectations are then shifting to the taste of the algorithm, not yourself, and it becomes more work. Yeah, it becomes more work because you might not be doing something you entirely enjoy. And if you do make a shift towards the algorithm, there's no guarantee your audience will follow you, because then they'll be like, oh, he changed, and now it's not the content I want anymore. So you have to like figure out a way to strike that balance, and it sucks. It sucks ass. I imagine if you don't absolutely love most, like, every aspect of content creation, it sucks ass. That's how it feels from me outside looking in anyway. So yeah, I don't see myself doing it full time unless like I hit a major windfall and find like carve out a niche that's pretty stable. But like, I'd much rather have like a stable main thing going on and do this on the side, which is where I'm currently at with it. I think right now I'm just doing it when I find time for it, which I think is where I'm comfortable with it. That was a long fucking tangent. What are we talking about? I gave up. I just do my stuff I like. Sometimes it hits off randomly, but stability? No, yeah. I don't blame you. It's like, it's hard. I think it's definitely not for everyone. I feel like, I guess we're just going whole hog into this tangent. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to try to do content creation because you see it a lot, but like the world still has a lot of jobs out there for people that it needs to function. I don't think there's any shame at all in just enjoying content and then like if you want to do something creative. I think everyone should have a creative outlet, but like doing it as like a small thing on the side and throwing it out there to see if people like it, there's absolutely no shame in that. Or like, I don't know if anyone feels shame for that sort of thing, but like I feel like that's what most people are doing or should be doing. And like I feel like a lot of younger people want to be an influencer because they see a lot of glamour in it, and they want to, like, I don't know if this is true, but what I heard from the Trash Taste podcast was that they mentioned that one of the most desired jobs among young people in Japan is influencer, or YouTuber, I think is the term they specifically used. So like maybe not like an influencer, but like a content creator, and I'm not into it. I feel like people should be more aware of like what it takes to get there, how insane it is to actually get big, because you are competing with such a ginormous amount of people that in a field where the barrier to entry is really, really low. Like, you don't need to spend money to upload videos on YouTube. You don't need Like, you don't need special equipment to make videos on YouTube. You really just need, like, for, like, what I'm doing now, like, 80% of the shit I use for this stream is free. And the rest was, like, $20 each, I think. And, like, the exception being the capture card, which was a little bit more pricey, but that's just because I specifically got a good one. But, like, like, the barrier to entry and the cost to entry is super low. Anyone could do it. Everyone sees content all the time, so they're all inspired by it all the time. So, like, people are constantly trying things, and, like, finding a niche and getting noticed is so insanely fucking hard, just purely looking at the numbers. So, like, I feel like not everyone realizes how absurd it is and how much of a pipe dream it is to, like, get big. So it's, like, one of those things where it's, like, if you want to do this, you need to put your fucking whole ass into it. You need to really, like, if you want to do this as your main thing, if you want this to be your onus as a human, if you want this to be, like, the center point that your life radiates, like revolves around, not radiates, but, like, revolves around, then you need to do it full time, and you need to fucking pray. Like, you need to work really fucking hard, and you need to get lucky. Like, you need to work harder than all the people who are doing it at a hobby level, people like me, and you need to just put your whole fucking ass into it if you want to do it full time. If you want to be one of those people that, like, you're streaming all the time, you're getting sponsorship deals, you're going to conventions and hosting panels, you're meeting other creators, you've got fans, like, you need to go hard as fuck, and you can't just sit there and expect it to pop off at some point. That's what I learned. Like, I knew it going in, but I didn't really learn it until, I'd say, relatively recently, where it's like, no, you need to put your whole ass into this to get anywhere with it. Otherwise, it's just a fun little hobby. You're basically doing what I'm doing right now, in my opinion, is like, I am treating my YouTube channel like those dads who make, like... You remember how the stereotypical dad hobby was to make, like, train miniatures in their basement? That's what I'm doing right now. I'm making... My YouTube channel is, like, my little town with all the little trees and the little men that I carve and, like, the track, and then I've got, like, the electricity set up, and then the train, like, goes around, and I'm like, this is my little town called Musa Quadrata, and open parenthesis VODs, end parenthesis. And all the little men and trees and foliage, those are my thumbnails. And the train going in a circle are all the VODs, and me just, like, emptying out my fucking my innards into a camera. That's all this is. And occasionally I show it to people and they're like, that's pretty neat. Do you want to go watch a movie? Yeah, I mean, no one cares that much, but I have fun doing it. But yeah, that's what it is. That's how I see it right now. I want to, what I want to do with this is I want to meet other people that do the same thing, because I want to see if I can, like, platform it into something more social, or, like, kind of use it as a fun hobby to maybe see if I can, like, lateral it into something else. Like, I do want to make a video essay someday. And I think that like, legitimately, if I think of what's a very me type of content to make, that would probably be like a video essay. Just because, like, the whole reason I'm streaming and I'm doing things the way I am is just because, like, if the Let's Play was still a really popular format, like, more popular than streaming, I would do it. You know what I mean? I really adore Let's Plays, and I just have, I don't know, I haven't seen, like, a new Let's Play channel that I like anymore, but there's new streamers popping up all the time. So usually what I'll do is that I'll watch streamers that are generally a little more, like, interaction light, or have small chat channels, or they just, or streamers that have such a humongous volume of people watching them that they just don't interact with chat at all. Like, they don't even look there. And then they're just playing the game and, like, monologuing into the microphone. I watch people who do that because they that's basically as close to a Let's Play as I'm gonna get nowadays with, like, the new people coming in. Let's Plays are special in my heart, but yeah, I've even shifted over to watching streaming. Yeah, a lot of the Let's Players I watched became streamers. That was kind of my indication that the environment had changed. Where what was it? I used to watch the Creatures before they kind of split up. Kutra perished in agony as far as I can tell. I have no idea what's going on with him. Like, there was Cow Chop that existed for a little bit, but they did more like... Cow Chop kind of represented the move away from, like, Let's Play specifically to more, like, VOD-style content, where it's, like, a lot more gimmicky, and they had more, like, specific things that they were talking about. And then, like, I think Uberhax Nova still streams. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but he still exists. I don't know what happened with the other guys. I also used to watch SSOH PKC a lot. He was great. I think a lot of my style here is inspired by him. It's mainly him and the Super Best Friends play. Like, those are, like, the two channels that I think I got most of my pointers from. And SSOH was just a really cool guy. Like, he was a cool guy to have in the background. Just kind of listening to him talk in the background, just because he had a very steady, sarcastic tone, which just kind of works with everything. And he moved over to streaming and then put VODs on his main channel, and then he started just doing Let's Plays normally, and now he's on a really long hiatus. I have no idea what's going on with him. I think his girlfriend's a VTuber now. And then there was, what else? Yeah, and then there were the Super Best Friends. They all split up. Very sad moment in my life. Matt still does, like, specifically designed a lot of scripted content. I really like What Happened, which is, like, a series where he talks about basically foibles in entertainment, specifically movies and video games. Mostly video games, I think. And he talked about all the big ones, and he uses his, like, insight into the industry to talk about it. Wooly does Let's Plays in a more traditional fashion. He has a co-host named Reggie, and they work really well together. And Pat just streams. But yeah, I've seen the whole ecosystem shift over to streaming. So unless you're really big and have, like, a lot of dedication towards your format, like the Game Grumps did, I feel like you either switched over to streaming or you perished. Because one thing about Let's Plays is that they used to be everywhere, but then YouTube figured out that I think what the problem was is that I don't know if the algorithm de-emphasizes it or this is just like a natural result of how people watch things, but basically there was after the first part of any given Let's Play, people just drop off a cliff unless they're really dedicated viewers, you know what I mean? Because if, like, this is a good example. This is probably part, like, fucking 23 or something of Infinite Wealth. I don't even remember anymore. I haven't uploaded VODs in a while, so I don't know. But, like, if I had no idea who I was, I wouldn't click on the 23rd part. I'd watch the first 2 or 3 streams, and then I'd forget about it because I have too many fucking people to watch. So, like, not even I would hop in the middle and be like, I'm gonna hop into the middle of this fucking agonizingly long JRPG playthrough, and I'm just gonna be confused. Like, am I gonna do that, or am I gonna watch a couple of, like, fucking VTuber women just vomit nonsense at each other, punch that shit at 2 times speed? Or am I gonna watch a couple of fucking anime women that live in, like, America or Europe and work for a Japanese company and speak English, and then, like, just watch them just fucking vomit nonsense at each other at high speed while they play fucking crab game? I'm honestly very tempted to watch the second one, even if it's just girls screaming, because it's kind of funny listening to them fight. Like, I get it. I get it why things are the way they are. I understand. I don't know. That's my long rant. That's kind of me. That's me poking a hole in the balloon and letting out basically everything I've learned and acknowledged about my channel and where I'm at with it. That's where we're at right now. Yeah. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed that rant. I'm gonna... Kiryu been pondering this question. He could ponder a little longer. I'm actually gonna go grab a drink because I feel like it would be very thematically appropriate. So I'll be right back in like 5 minutes. Just hang tight. I'll be right back. All right, howdy. I'm back. I have ginger beer and vodka. Life is good. Let's see. That sounds like a Kiryu thing to say.
弱みを見せないとな。重責を負った上で、そうやって涼しい顔でいられるのは大したもんだ。
よくそう言われるが、本当に苦じゃないんだよ。私は今の仕事や立場を楽しんでいる。もちろん最初は試練もあったがね。リーダーシップを身につけるのに訓練はいらなかった。
適材適所ってやつか。コミジュルもハンピン・リューマンもあんたがトップで恵まれたな。
あなたにそう言ってもらえるのは光栄だよ。
まだ時間はあんのか？
桐生さんがまだ飲むというのに私から切り上げたりはしない。当然行けるとこまで行くさ。
いつもそんな調子で酒を飲むのか？あんたの部下になったら大変。
You don't wear a jacket like that without going hard.
裏社会もパワハラに気を使うご時世さ。部下にそんな無茶はさせないよ。恐怖による支配力を否定するつもりはない。
This jacket's only for the hardest people.
なるほどな。つくづくあんたはトップに立つのが向いてるみたいだ。そういやコミジュルってのは今も町中を監視してんのか？そこから吸い上げるあらゆる情報がコミジュルの力の源だったよな。
ああ、ただ私が全てを把握してるわけじゃない。必要な情報だけ腹心が私に上げてくるルールだ。
腹心？半純義か？
ああ、非常に優秀だし、私へ変わらぬ忠誠を誓ってくれている。私にとってまさに右腕だよ。
Is Jungi's a party member in this game, right? He's not like optional, is he? I didn't miss him or something, did I?
他にも腹心と言える部下はいる。
Because the fact that he like stayed behind after that one time where we hung out with him felt a little strange.
俺と大して変わらねえ年か？
そうだね。組織で最古参の良きおじさんたちだ。彼らからはお小言をもらうことも多い。
あんたにも怖いものがあったか？
コミジュルの前は人言派にいた人たちだからね。若き日には全盛期の登場界としのぎを削り合った。おそらく桐生さんが名を馳せるより少し前の時代だろう。私は彼らからあなたの武勇伝も聞かされたものでね。それが今隣にいるのだから、その緊張するというか。
I heard you fought Majima in a cage fight more than once.
なんでもない。忘れてくれ。
かつての人言派たちか。なら俺があんたといるのを不快に思わなきゃいい。
I'm surprised Sunhee's able to keep her cool here. I feel like if I was in her position, I'd be crumbling like a leaf. Like whenever I get hyped up for a conversation, I always perform worse. This sucks. I always pay the least attention to the fucking prompts that lead to these things. I always really appreciate it whenever games with conversation choices like this leave like the last thing said available right when you make the choice.
あんたに任せておけば万事 OK だな。これからも頼りにさせてもらう。
望むところだ。いつでも私の力を当てにしてくれ。それが何より私の喜びなんだよ。
そうか。ありがとうな、ソンヒ。そばにいてくれて心強く思ってる。
ああ、最近の偉人帳は平和すぎてね。ずっと物足りないと思っていたところだ。あなたがこの町に現れたことで。
Yep. Constant hurricane of disaster, Kazuma Kiryu.
何か物騒な期待をしちゃいねえか？
そんなことはないさ。いいかな、桐生さん。改めてこの町に来たことを歓迎させてもらうよ。
ああ、
偉人町へようこそ、桐生一馬。乾杯。
乾杯。
It is hardly his fault. It seems to follow him around. It's an unfortunate affliction.
楽しいひとときだったようですね、孫石さん。
マスターの目にはそう見えたか？
ええ。
ここだけの話、実はずっと緊
There
張
we
していた。
go.
相手は堂島の竜で、まさに伝説の存在。裏社会では私よりもずっと格上だからね。偉人町を代表して粗相はできないんだ。私は桐生さんに変なことを言ったりしてなかった。
How'd I do on the interview?
私が聞いていた限り大丈夫だったようです。
そうか。マスターがそう言ってくれるなら安心だな。
そうですか。
あの桐生一馬と差しで酒を飲んでるなんてな。だがちゃんとやれてるぞ、私。
Very nice. Tag team dual impact. Dude, there's a, what is it? I was like looking some stuff up for fermenting. Reddit's got a couple communities about it. There was a guy who was talking about I found a post on Reddit today, which was a guy was talking about a guy was trying to figure out how to ferment maple syrup, basically, because apparently it's possible. I guess literally any liquid that has sugar in it, you could probably ferment like it's beer or mead, and maple syrup apparently is no exception. It's got a name. What is it? Yeah, acerglyn, I think it's called. Acerglyn. Acerglyn? I don't know how it's pronounced. But basically, apparently if you dilute maple syrup so that's less thick, you can pitch some yeast into it and then just brew it like normal. I guess it needs a nutrient too, but just so you can just ferment it like that. And apparently it's pretty good, but the thing that cracked me up about this post on Reddit is the guy was like asking for tips, and like apparently he had done his research because he mentioned a couple technical terms. But one thing he said is, we have a functionally unlimited amount of maple syrup. just there is too much. It is impossible to use all of it. And a guy was like, "Why do you have an unlimited amount of syrup?" Apparently his family works for like an exportation business, so they just move like a couple million pounds or tons or something. They just move a ridiculous amount of syrup every day. So yeah, they just have some extra that they can use. You know, like people in warehouses sometimes get freebies. It's stuff like that. I don't know, it was a crazy thing to read. I have so much syrup. There is nothing but syrup. Everything is syrup. The stuff that fell off the truck, yeah. I don't know exactly how it works or how like legal it is, but people who work for like distribution centers and warehouses and things like that somehow end up bringing the stuff home. Some stuff, at least. My life is syrup. My home is syrup. I'm syrup. All that I am, all that I will be, it all comes from the maple tree. Oh my.
そう来るか。
I can never again use honey. I can never again use butter because I always have to ask myself, but I could use the syrup, and I have so much syrup.
幹部の良きおじさんたちがあんたの目を盗んで不
Look,
穏な
you know what? I should get some syrup and I should look up to see if I can make some cookies with it. Because I made honey cookies and honey cake and that turned out pretty good. And I feel like that's the closest. I feel like the closest analog to syrup, at least in terms of like composition, is probably honey, right? Like they're both pretty thick. They're both mainly sugar. I feel like they're pretty comparable.
経験や年が上だったりする部下は取り扱い
I'll look into it, we'll see. Baking's chemistry, so you can't just dump shit in there.
コミジュルの女王も人知れず苦労してるわけか。
たわいもない話だし、これは私だけの問題だ。
Mind the sweetness? Fuck no. I've got a problem. No, look at me.
その幹部たち
Look at my eyes. You're looking at an addict, not an addict of alcohol, like it might, as it might be implied by some of these streams. No, I'm addicted to sugar. I have a fucking issue. This is not a joke. I have a problem. So, mind the sweetness? I will not mind the sweetness. I am going to fuck it up, and I'm gonna be happy. I think I put too much vodka in this ginger beer. Oh, man. We're teammates.
俺たちはもう仲間だ。水臭いんじゃねえのか？いつまで客人扱いする気でいるんだ？
It's Friday night, baby. I've got an exam next week. We got a fucking party.
いや、ありがたいところではないな。はっきり言って天にも昇るような。
Yeah, I didn't mention this. I usually get nervy when I talk about my private life, but yeah, I'm taking one summer class right now because I want to clear a requisite.
気持ちだけいただいておくということだ。客人であると同時に、桐生さんは病人でもある。
Damn it. She's being reasonable. I want to be a cool guy.
以前はこの偉人帳で3つの組織が目を光らせていた。
Crush that shit, yeah. That's the plan. It's the one class and I've got plenty of time. I'm not gonna like, I'm trying not to sit on my ass about it, but I'm planning on studying. People don't know who's in charge.
しかし、そこを桐生さんに心配されるのは私のメンツに関わるんだ。
わかったよ。そうまで言われちゃこれ以上口出しできないな。
なんだか絡み酒になってしまった。すまない。こんなつもりじゃなかったんだが。
いや、いいさ。
Do you think it's deliberate when they put subtitles on like a particular area of the, like they frame the camera so that like a certain part of the female anatomy overlaps with the subtitles? Do you think that's on purpose ever? I feel like it could be, you know what I mean? Especially with games like this. Or not games like this, but like gacha games in particular.
町の住人に挨拶をする者も出てきたらしい。
コミジュルといや、まず表には出ない秘密組織ってイメージだったもんだがな。
登場会も近江連合もない今、近場に敵対組織はない。束の間かもしれないが、平和を楽しんでいるんだ。
なるほどな。
ありがとう、マスター。
Sometimes, absolutely. Other times, I think it's just framing being unfortunate for subtitles. Yeah, I feel like in some cases you can't avoid it. Like, if you want a full body shot of a character, then, like, naturally the subtitles are gonna end up somewhere around, like, the leg or butt area. But, like, there was a shot earlier where the subtitles were specifically over Sunhee's tits. You know what I mean? I love that. I fucking love that. You saw the goddamn mask and like on reflex when I reject my humanity, Kiryu. Jojo. Oh, that's threatening. Did he look like he drinks blood?
様変わりしているようだな、コミジュロは。
いや、だからといって
Muscle memory.
部外者にその仮面を渡す
You just see a mask and you're like, damn, I've got a strange urge to suck a cock soon. Wonder where this is coming from. Sorry, no offense. It's just, you know, that's the joke about JoJo fans. I need to find a muscular man nearby and challenge him to a ghost fight. Could you let this one fly? Whatever. Yeah, Soul. Please level up Soul. I want the brawl style to be as good as it can get. Because that's my favorite one.
そこが私の良さというものもいる。組織を束ねる時もこわもてでいた方が分かりやすい。半純義などもそう言ってるが、その
Something's wrong. It's supposed to take 30 minutes for alcohol to kick in. This vodka started working in 15 minutes. I don't get it.
下の者にとっちゃいいことなんじゃないか。
そうか。
I'm gonna drink some water.
桐生さんもそう思うか。
Ugh.
やはり桐生さんと飲む酒はうまいな。
Guys, I think she likes us. I have made a concoction. It's just a shot and a half of vodka mixed with some ginger beer. It shouldn't be that crazy.
この一杯一杯がうまく感じる。一緒に飲める友人がいればこそだ。
友人?
Maybe I'm just a lightweight today. The blood's working. The blood's working quick. No, yeah. No, I mention drinking a lot when I'm on my streams. I don't drink that much. Or at least I think comparatively, I don't drink a ton. I think I'm like a moderate drinker is how I would put it. Yeah, please chain attack down enemies. Thank God. I should probably be paying more attention. I want to be like one of those streamers that actually pays attention to the video game, but sometimes like the urge to talk just takes over. Honestly, man, I don't do it because I feel like I need more people in my chat in order to do it adequately, but like I feel like if I get a little bit more attention, like my average viewers gets more up to like 6 or 7. I feel like I'm probably gonna do more like just chatting streams and things like that, because I do feel sometimes I do feel an intense urge to yap. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, hey guys, I learned something new. You want to learn about soup? But yeah, I try to like, I don't know, when it comes to stuff that's traditionally addictive, one thing I wanted to say is that I try to put like a cap on it just so there's like a number, like a rule out there for me to follow. So like with alcohol, I try not to drink more than like, I try to drink not more than like 8 drinks a week, and usually I can stay pretty much well under that. It's just and with gacha games, I try to stick to like up to 100 per year, like dollars spent, because I do think the urge does pop up sometimes to spend money. Not super frequently, but every once in a while I'll get a character that I kinda really want. Like the marketing just works on me, and I don't want to like. I want something to hold me back when I have a moment of weakness, you know what I mean? Because I have, in the past, spent more money than I really should have on something really fucking stupid in a video game. And I don't want to fall into that at a point where I'm particularly financially vulnerable. So, like, I have hard rules that I try to stick to try to curb it. But yeah, I try not to, like... If I see a character that I really want in a game, I try to plan ahead so that I don't spend more than $20. Like, Star Rail released a character named Boot Hill, and it's like, Boot Hill is like my version of a character that is specifically targeted. Like it feels like whatever niche I am in, Boot Hill was targeting that niche, because he's literally just a space cowboy, and when he uses his ult and does other shit, it plays a bunch of classic sound effects from like Western films and things like that. He's fantastic. I love him. I want him to be my dad. I'm joking, but like I do like him a lot. he's fantastic, and I really adore like all of his animations and everything going on with him. Even if he's like a little weird, not really what I would do if I wanted to make a cowboy, but I still think he's really cool because I like all the things he's referencing. And as a result, I had to plan ahead for him. Thankfully, with Star Rail, they let you know when a character banner is going to come out like fucking 6 months ahead of time because they're like, oh, hey, here's a guy that's about to come out, and they'll tell you way ahead of time. So what I ended up doing is that I bought the monthly pass a few times, and I just kept playing the game so that, like, that way I didn't have to spend too much, even though, like, MiHoYo gacha games are really... they really try to drain your wallet, I feel like. That's how they're designed. But yeah, even with that one, I don't think I spent more than... I think I spent like $25 on him. So like I tried to like maximize that $25, and I did get him. I actually did even better than that. I had previously gotten Black Swan. I also got Boot Hill, and I got Firefly purely based on luck. So I am feeling great in that game. Also, I'm not playing Zenless Zone Zero because I'm invested in one MiHoYo game, and I think that's enough for one person. Yeah, Kurt, I know you don't. I don't think you play too many video games, from what I recall. But basically, like, there's a like in the gacha game ecosystem, there's a specific company called MiHoYo, and they what they do is that they're like one of the biggest budget, like largest scale. I do not understand gacha very well, but go on. Yeah. So basically, gacha games are like, they're games where you gamble for characters, and those characters are where the gameplay comes from. I totally understand if someone looked me in the eyes and say gacha games are predatory or gacha games fucking suck. I get it. I totally get it. Sorry. Like, I totally get it. I think they're fun. One thing I like about gacha games is that the way they're designed, because, like, all of the money for the games, they're usually free, but you have to roll a lottery for the characters. So one thing I like about them is that because the characters directly impact the income of the game, they have huge rosters. So I really like when they have big rosters and their investment in the characters means that each of the characters gets their own little story. That's the thing I really like about them. So that's why with games like Fate Grand Order or like Reverse 1999, not Fate Grand Order so much, I kind of got like disillusioned with that after some point, but like with like Reverse 1999, Nikke, believe it or not, I know that game's got a reputation, but like the characters are actually interesting in my opinion, some of them at least. And with at least a couple of MiHoYo games, like the characters are all like complex and have like some depth to them. So when you have a whole shit ton of them, it makes for some really interesting experiences that you don't get in other games. Like, it's interesting whenever you get an event, and then, like, the game's like, this is the roster of characters that are going to show up in this event, and you're like, how are these people going to interact together? And then you find out, and it's actually kind of fun. Like, I enjoy that. That's the aspect of gacha games that I enjoy. I try not to get soaked into the whole, like, oh, I need to gamble for this character in order to lock down this, like, team comp in order to do the end game, in order to get, like, fucking 1/3 of a pull per mission or anything like that. And I also get really frustrated whenever they tie the story to like your power curve. Like they're like, oh, you need to grind for another month in order to get enough power points in order to do this next mission, and that's the thing that's preventing you from getting through the story of this game. I really hate it when that happens, but like overall the experience is fun, and also I'm very susceptible to Skinner boxes. So as a result, I do play a couple of them. But like yeah, anyway, to loop back around to where we started with this, MiHoYo is a company, it's a Chinese company, they make gacha games, they make really high-budget, really well-made gacha games. They have an insane amount of animation, each game that they make has a unique aesthetic, and a lot of investment is like put into those games and the characters and making them all look as good as possible. It's ridiculous in my opinion, and that's why it's kind of captured a lot of the attention of a lot of people. I forgot to mention this. You want to know why I was gone last weekend? I went to Anime Expo. I went to Los Angeles. I went to a cauldron of heat and debauchery. Of heat and garbage and traffic and California. I went to that cauldron, and I went to Anime Expo, and let me tell you something. MiHoYo has captured a lot of artists because people love their character designs and get interested in their characters. They know what they're doing. And they have 3 games. They have Genshin, they have Star Rail, and they have Zenless Zone Zero, which just came out. Genshin is like a fantasy game with like a sort of hack and slash-ish gameplay style, kind of like Devil May Cry, where you pick like 3 characters that each are associated with an element, and then you mix and match the elements in order to get like damage effects. So it's like Devil May Cry, but the characters are really simplified, but you switch through 3 of them. Zenless Zone Zero is really similar, except that game's got a lot of mechanics built in where you actively switch characters like mid-combo or something like that to get like chain effects that do a lot of damage. Star Rail is the one I picked because it's turn-based. It's a turn-based RPG, and most of the character complexity comes from building them up and like getting their relics and their stats up to a satisfactory degree so that you can get them to work together and kill enemies. I have a lot of gripes with Star Rail, but I keep fucking playing it, and that's like one of the 3 gacha games that I play right now. Here's the deal. MiHoYo, so Kurt, here's how we're not getting to the rest of the drink links. I'm sorry. This is what I'm doing with the rest of the stream time. So there's more to gacha than I had initially assumed. Yeah. It's basically a gacha game is a combination between a slot machine and RPG. Like whatever version of an RPG you've ever played, there's probably a gacha game associated with it. There's even a shooter RPG. It's called Snowbreak. It's a lottery machine, so like a slot machine specifically, an RPG, and like a date. Some of them have like dating sim mechanics thrown in. I call them dating sim mechanics. There's basically sometimes characters will have an affection meter, and then you learn more about them, and then like you'll either get events with them or you'll get new like lines where they talk to you a bit more as you develop them further. And sometimes that's romantic, sometimes it's not. With games like Nikke and ones that are specifically like the entire cast is women and the main character is supposed to be like it's aimed towards young men. Usually it's more datey. Like usually the women fall in love by the end of their affection, stuff. But with other games like Arknights, where it's a bit more even-handed with the genders, it's more like, oh, this person's a close companion or like a partner or like a good friend, things like that. So like depending on what you want, you can kind of pick one. Basically, where am I? Okay, so one crucial aspect about gacha games is the gambling. It's the way it always works is that whenever they release a new character and they put them live, that character has a banner, and that banner is like a slot machine that basically says, hey, this is your percentage to get the highest rarity character, this is your percentage to get a mid-grade character, this is your percentage to get a low-grade character, right? So usually they'll do like, with Star Rail, for an example, there are 5-star characters, there are 4-star characters, but their gacha also has these things called star cones, which are like little things you can equip on people to boost their stats and give special effects. Most of what you roll for are star cones. They're not characters. Most of the stuff you get that's like 4-star, it's like even-handed between star cones and characters. All the 5-stars are just characters. So what happens is that the highest rarity characters, they're called SSRs in some games, and they're 5-stars in other games, and there's a bunch of different categories for them. But the high grade, high rarity, we put a bunch of fucking programmers and animators and designers put their sweat and blood into making this woman look as attractive and cool as possible. Those characters, those are the ones that get the big shiny banners, and they're like, hey, here's fucking Isabella. She's coming in, she's got fat fucking titties, she can do damage over time to multiple opponents and then cash it out on her ultimate, which does a ridiculous amount of damage that's never before seen. And she's got a whole event dedicated to her that we're also releasing at the same time. She's available on the gacha right now. And that's where they get their money, because a handful of people will go into that gacha and they'll go, I need this video game character. I am going to do whatever I can to get that woman. And they are going to spend a fuck ton of money. They're called whales. We've heard the term before, I'm pretty sure. They're going to dump a shit ton of money. The company gets to survive for another 3 months. They get their woman. It all works out. That's how gacha games survive. That's how they generally work. Sometimes it's a man because you're playing a game like fucking Tears of Themis or whatever the hell. I don't know what the ones that are marketed towards women are, but like sometimes it's a dude, sometimes it's something else. Reverse 1999 was really fun because they had things that weren't humans. Like they had like satellites and glass shards, and they had a dog. I pulled for that fucking dog. His name is Pickles, and he's a philosopher. I love that fucking dog. That's why I play Reverse 1999. But sorry, tangent. But basically, that's how the SSR works. But here's the deal. You want to know why the whales have to spend so much fucking money? Because the chance of you getting a high rarity character is low, and the chance of you getting the specific high rarity character, the new person, the FOMO person, the person that's going to be there and your best shot at getting them on purpose is right now and possibly for the next 2 to 4 weeks is right now. That your chance of getting that person is even lower than getting just any SSR or 5-star or high rarity character. So you get what I mean? That's what the pull is. That's the enticement. So usually, like Kurt, I want to do a little experiment here. Kurt, what do you think is the percentage of pulls that the highest rarity character makes up? Just curious. Just throw a number out there. Because, like, keep in mind, a lot of these games, they vary by how many pulls they grant you for free. And some of them are stingier than others. I think miHoYo, like, will give you freebies, but they don't give you a ton, in my opinion. Arknights was really generous. Fate Grand Order. Okay, that... It's more generous than that. Thank you. That is an aggressive fucking percentage. No. Usually, some games it's like 1%, some games it's like 2%. In a miHoYo game, I think it's generally 0.6% to pull any high rarity character, and then it's 50% of that, so 0.3%. To pull a high rare, to pull the specific character that the banner is for. So it's like 0.3% to pull the banner character, and generally they'll do this thing called pity. It's really sad, but basically once you put in a certain amount of pulls, you are guaranteed to get the character. There's like a cap. I really appreciate it because it means that there's like a number you can hit, and you're like, if my luck is as bad as humanly possible, I will get the character as long as I get this amount. Like in Blue Archive, I think it was 200 pulls. In I think in Star Rail, it's like 90. It's actually really, the pity's not bad, but the counterbalance is that you're really, really unlikely to get that character in the first like 40 to 50 pulls. So, like, usually they'll do something like, oh, after this amount of pulls, the percentage chance of you get an SSR character increases. Or, like, after this amount of pulls, you can just... Nikke actually has the best one, I think, where it's like, if you make 200 pulls if you make a pull in any limited banner, you can get tickets, and then you can cash in 200 of those for literally any character that you want. Like, that's on a banner. So it's like, if you've pulled 200 times on the limited banners with, like, the free pulls that they get you, you can save up those tickets and then cash it out when you have a character you really want. When, you know, if you're some horny young adult male out there who spends more time on the internet than you do with other humans, and you're really lonely and horny, and Nikke has its fucking swimsuit event, which I think is active right now, you could just go like, hey, here, 200 tickets, just fucking give me what I want. I want the swimsuit woman, and I want a voice actress to tell me she loves me. Like, you can do that. As long as you've pulled 200 times on the previous banners, which you can build up with like the gems and the tickets that they gave you for free. But yeah, that's basically how gachas work. Anyway, it's degeneracy. I'm ashamed for being part of it. I feel every time I open them up, I feel a deep sense of shame. But the Skinner box and the dopamine rush keeps me going. That's where we're at right now. Anyway, that's gachas. It's really weird. It is still, in a sense, gambling for gameplay, which is really shitty on paper, literally no matter what. So I totally understand why people get annoyed or, like, upset whenever they hear about it. And I understand why people don't touch it. I played Zenless Zone Zero, which is MiHoYo's most recent game, and I played it, I saw the cutscenes, I saw the animations, I played a bit, and I was like, man, if this was literally anything but a gacha game, I would be 200% down for this, but fuck, I don't want to play another gacha game right now, because they're all super fucking grindy. Like, Nikke is basically an idle game, and Star Rail, the amount of resources and money you have to put in to get your character maxed out in Star Rail is just a lot. It's a lot of investment in time. Not even money. You're not allowed to invest money. It's just time. Yeah, gambling's not new. It's just shitty. That's how it is. But it does make people money. Here's one thing I will put. Here's one thing I will say. I have a theory. I haven't done any research. You know how, like, VTubers are a thing right now? There's a lot of independent artists on Twitter, and a lot of those independent artists are really into anime, so they make an anime style. There's a lot of people who got some fucking... I feel like there's a lot of people who got some coloring or drawing book when they're in middle school that said, learn how to draw anime, and then they did all the tracing, and they figured out all the basics, and then they went, I could do this all the time. And then they went to art school, and then they graduated, and they went, there are no jobs out there for people like me, so now they do commissions on Twitter. I feel like that happens a lot. That's just a stereotype, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's a thing that has happened out there, and that has left a lot of really talented, really dedicated artists with an anime style just kind of left doing whatever's available. And I feel like gacha games gave them an avenue to ply their trade that VTubers later picked up on. That's kind of my... Or, like, maybe they both happened at the same time. Because I feel like a lot of people who do, like, VTuber models have in the past done, like, professional work for gacha games or something along those lines. Because gacha games will hire, like, independent artists and they'll credit them in the, like, profile for the character, which I think is fantastic. So, like, there is a positive aspect to it in that sense, I think, where it is, like, giving independent art, like, it's creating a demand for, like, independent artists to do stuff. And I think if there's anything independent artists need, it's a demand for professional level work from them, because right now their AI is like a constant existential threat for them, and it's like on top of all the other shit that was already holding them back. I'd love to see a deep dive into the cross-section of gacha game development players and the rise of VTubers. Yeah. I don't know how the fuck you would research that, but I would like to see that too. It's I feel like they're connected. That's just how I feel down in my bones, is that, like, gacha games and VTubers are connected, like, more than just the obvious ways, because I know a lot of former, like, consistent Fate Grand Order character designers did pop up and make a bunch of them have also made models for HoloLive. I know that's a thing. So I'm convinced. I think both of them have contributed to a specific niche of independent artists on Twitter that all work together and created this sort of, like, active sort of group of people that are willing to be hired for this sort of thing. So, like, I feel like those are all push factors for that. That's my opinion. That's my theory. It's not yet a hypothesis, but yeah. Anywho, I think that's it for today. I'm clearly too blasted to focus on anything specific that's game-related. My current plan right now, I'm gonna see if I can get everyone to rank 30 in the classes that they're currently at, and then I'm gonna set them back to I'm gonna set them back to their default classes, because I do like seeing everyone in their default classes, and then I think after that we're gonna get through the rest of these drink links at some point. Here's the deal. I was previously very rushed. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my computer with me when I have that 2-week period of time that's gonna be a little awkward. I'm going somewhere else. I'm going to take my computer with me, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to figure out a way to stream without fucking up the audio. That's my current concern. I'm going to try to stream for like 2 weeks, and then I think during that period of time we're going to finish like this game, and then we're going to start some new stuff. So there's less bullshit. That's my plan. I think rushing through this game would do it a disservice. So I'd rather do it on my own time and then try to find other things to do while I'm down there. That's my current plan. So yeah, hopefully I'll catch you guys later. I think tomorrow we're playing Prey again. Yeah, that's my current plan. I did not upload a schedule. Tomorrow we're going to play Prey again, and then on Sunday we're going to play this game again at the usual time. The usual time being, I will tell you guys that I am going to be on at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST, but we're actually going to start streaming at 11:20 PST, 2:20 EST, because I'm really bad at keeping at doing this correctly. So yeah, expect me then. I will see you guys, and we'll laugh about our little joke. Yeah. So I'll see you guys then. Hopefully you guys are having fun, and I hope to see you all later. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your attention. And I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. And I hope you're all surviving. It is hot out there. I've heard it's hot out there in multiple places. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you very much. I wish you the best. Goodbye.